Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's me again, Yana. For today's video is I'm gonna be giving a review on this foundation right here. It's a wear test review and some information about this product. So this is not a newly released foundation by YSL, but in my case this is new because I have purchased this a couple months ago and I haven't given any review for you guys. So this is the time for you to know what shade are you, because I'm gonna be having a comparison between my Milani foundation and this one right here, and see the difference between the two. It's shade, it's consistency and things like that, and what else, if this is worth over $54. And yeah, that's it guys. If you're interested, then please keep on watching. Okay guys, so this is the packaging right here, and it says here Touche Éclat lip tint, and I'm not sure if I read it correctly, but it says Radiance Awakening Foundation, and I am in a shade Amber. You got 1 fluid ounces or 30 ml, and this retails for $54. Now we'll have color comparison between this a high-end YSL foundation to a drugstore foundation. So let me give you a short or a brief history or information about my skin. Normally when I use foundation, my shades are natural, beige, sun beige, warm beige. Those are the shades that I normally use when it comes to my foundation. And since I got natural beige here, natural right here, so we will make a comparison between these two. It's consistency and the shade too. So first let's have a pump of this Milani there. So it's a bit thick. Let's see so that's Milani, and then let's have a pump of this YSL. Oh, that was a lot. So it in one pump it's a lot. So that's how YSL. This is the Milani, the natural shade, and this is YSL Amber shade. So let me compare both. This one right here, the Milani, is lighter while the YSL is darker, and then thicker while the YSL is thin. It's runny, liquidy kind of foundation. And this one right here, the Milani, it looks cakey, I predict, and I know because I've been using this one for many times. So it's powdery, cakey, while the YSL, I've used it once and I would say that it blends to the skin. It absorbs to the skin perfectly. So that's the difference between the two. Now you know how this wear test works, right? I'm gonna put a primer on the other side, while in the other side is without primer, and then beauty sponge and then brush. So now I got 2 primers here. We've got Becca, and then we have Cover Effects. But I guess I've heard a lot of positive reviews regarding Becca, so I'm gonna be using this primer. There, and distribute it properly. So just half of my face. Honestly guys, I rarely use primer, so I'm doing it. So far I'm doing it good. Normally I got patchy looks when I use primer, but because I don't distribute it evenly, today I'm doing it right, getting used to it and tapping it in so it absorbs to the skin. Now I'm gonna reach for my YSL. Now I got here my wet sponge and my brush. So again, this part right here is with primer and without primer. Now I'm gonna get my brush, flat brush, and one pump, and I'm gonna distribute this foundation all over my face. So this is with primer and without primer. Now I'm gonna be using my sponge on this part right here, and that's first pump. I've got a lot of blemishes, so let's see if it covers the blemishes by just having one pump of the foundation. Especially here, I've got dark spot there, so basically this foundation, oh, I forgot. So basically this foundation is buildable from medium to full coverage, and I can see that my dark spots around here and here are still peeking through. So one pump is not enough, so I'm gonna add another pump. So one here and one there. Punch right here. I got here dark spot, so I would say it covers well right here. Still I need concealer, and yes, brush on the other side. So just stamping motion, and this part right here is like brushing it off like that. And that's it. So I have noticed that the foundation dries so fast, like a minute after you'll see like a dry straight. Earlier I was doing it like that, and it took me a while to put or to blend into my skin, so it dried so fast. This foundation is very watery, but it dries so fast. So that's another information. Now let me check my face. So I have noticed that second pump is enough. It's already full coverage. It covers like some blemishes, not totally, but it looks clean. I still have to use concealer. Probably if I use 3 pumps, it will literally erase all of those dark spots, but I could still see a little, just a little, but it looks so flawless. And like I've said earlier, it absorbs to the skin perfectly, and it doesn't look cakey. And yeah, is it heavy to the skin? No, it doesn't feel heavy to the skin, which is another plus points, because that's very important too when it comes to me, because I don't want wearing a very heavy makeup. It's already heavy, and plus the feelings is heavy, which is very uncomfortable. I would say that there's no difference between the two sides, the prime and without prime. The sponge and brush, I would say they look so even. Like you can tell which part is the brush, the prime. So far so good. They look so even. The only thing is 2 pumps, it covers, but you could really tell that there are still a little discoloration. Now we'll proceed to our concealer. I've heard a lot of good reviews regarding this concealer, so we're gonna be using this. And why I'm talking here is this Too Faced Born This Way concealer. It's a multi-sculpting concealer, and I am in a shade Vanilla, so we'll be applying this to both sides of the face. So here, and here too, because I've got dark spots there. You know what? It was so tragic. Like I was attacked by a lot of pimples. And here, and a little bit here, probably on the nose too, because this part right here and there and here and somewhere here, I've got pimples. So maybe line and a little bit of there. And what I like about this, okay, I'm just gonna give a little bit review about this concealer. It blends so well, but in this case, I'm gonna be using brush. Oh, it's still the same. I'm gonna be using brush on this side right here. Brush. Oh, I've applied super thick. And brush here. I guess I'm gonna use sponge to both sides of the face. Doesn't matter, right? There and here. Oh, perfect. And the nose. And see, just observe. You could really tell that I was doing super hard. I was focusing more on here, like minute or two, and still I could blend this one right here so easily. Have you noticed some of the concealers, they, if you let it sit onto your skin for too long, it's really difficult to blend them after. Not this one. And especially here, it already looks dry, but it's so easy to, still it's so easy to blend. So this is a must. Now we're gonna set this face, and I've heard good things about this powder, so that's why I'm gonna be using this today. So I am referring here to this Kat Von D Lucky powder, this one right here. So setting your makeup, setting your concealer and foundation is a good foundation to have a good canvas. So I'm using this one right here, and I would say I agree to all the positive reviews about this one because I've tried it, and it's a very fine powder, and it melts to the skin, it blends together with your concealer and foundation perfectly, and it creates a perfect canvas. So check this one out. So the reason why I like it too, because I did not get the translucent or white or ivory or whatever color it is peach, and it's my skin tone. See it, there you go. So I'm just gonna transfer some of the powders here on this lid, and then my brush, doing it like that, and distribute it evenly onto my skin. So like I've said earlier, I really like this powder as it blends, it works well together with your foundation and concealer, and it's just, I could tell that it looks heavy, but it doesn't look ugly. So basically right now it's 1 p.m. That's my first check-in. So because it's getting late, so I'm gonna start my check-in at 1 p.m. Now I'm ready for my concealer, I'm ready for my bronzer, contour, and my blush on. Let me get them first. So, okay, so I got here my bronzer, and I'm gonna be using this Laura Geller Baked Impression Bronzer. So I've checked some of the reviews, and I've used this too, and it gives me a sun-kissed skin. So this one, this is how it looks, and this is my brush. So this serves as my bronzer, probably contour. So there. I love it because it doesn't give me a harsh orangey look. So you know the reason now why. But even if I dip my brush so hard onto the pan, still there. Still it doesn't give me a harsh pigment, and some of the bronzer, they just, you look orange after it, but not after using, but not this one. So there. So this is a kind of wear test because I started my check-in already, and I'm still doing my makeup because I am kind of slow. So there. And then I'm gonna do the other side off cam. Now this step is my own preference. This brand is my own preference as I have used it many times and I just love peach color. Now for my blush on, I have here a Note brand which I got from BoxyCharm, and as you can see, OMG, how pretty is that? Plus I'm gonna give you a swatch so you would believe me when I say it's pretty. There you go. So I would say that this peach color is just perfect for all skin type. It's very pigmented and creamy, and like I said, I've been using this a lot, so it's just pretty. Now I'm gonna use this as my blush on. Okay, so maybe just a little because it looks similar to my contour. It also looks like a bronzer actually. So I'm gonna include this part right here because I am Asian, and some of the Asians, they include this part right here. It's just pretty. It's rosy, looks so rosy and fresh, like that. And for my highlighter, I'll just go straight to my highlighter. I've got here Ofra. This is very pigmented Ofra Fit Nikkie Tutorial Everglow highlighter, and I'm gonna be using this white shade right here for a very intense look. I got here my brush and the white. Now we'll see if I'm telling the truth. Look at that. Look at how pigmented this highlighter is. So that's why I rarely use this, but since I want it super pigmented this time, so that's why I reach for it. Okay, so the nose part, I've fixed my brows already, but I'm not sure if you could tell it because I'm not really good at it. Anyways, for my lips, I'm gonna be using this Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade of Bow and Arrow. When it comes to my lips, I'm on a safe side. I like nudes. This one is a kind of nude that is leaning towards like super, it's a dark brown shade, but it looks good. I like the lighter one, but not super light, just in between the light and this shade. But like I've said, this is a good liquid lipstick. It doesn't feel heavy to the lips, and it doesn't crack. It doesn't dry your lips, and it's super light and it dries fast. Anyways, that's it guys, and let's check the time. Should I set it? Okay, let me set first my look, and here I got my Urban Decay All-Nighter, and even though I don't fancy this one so much, but I heard good reviews about this, that they like this, so I'm gonna use it. The only reason why I don't like it because it feels so heavy into the skin, sticky, and I don't like the smell. It reminds me of a beer. Anyway, so let me set my face. There you go. It is set, and now let's check the time once again. So I've said earlier that was 1 p.m. and now it's 1:37 p.m. I am listing here actually. So I have a list, and I'll be checking in from time to time and tell you about the update of my face foundation condition. So yeah, stay tuned. But yeah, I almost forget. Now you're super zoom in, and I think it's super clear in your end there how my face looks like. And then we're gonna do it. We're gonna do this one once again later. Oh, so right now I could see creasing here, but it's just the start of our it's the first check-in. Actually, it's still 137, so that's how it looks. Let's see if it adds more creasing later. So far so good, so again, stay tuned. Hey guys, so life's getting better. No, another, it's an update. So currently it's 6 p.m. The previous one, it was 1 p.m. and 37 minutes. Is that right? 1:37 p.m. That's it. So here's the update. Let me zoom you in. Okay, so far I would say my face doesn't look cakey. In person it's thick, but I think it's just the shade, the amber shade is just right. So FYI, my skin is, normally I get beige shades or natural shades, but the equivalent, that's a drugstore shades, natural or sun beige color, equivalent, that's equivalent to an amber shade of YSL. So it looks, so even though it's so thick, it still looks pretty. And see my neck, I did not include my neck, but they are, you can tell there's no big difference between the foundation skin and not without foundation, so it's just a good shade for me. And then the forehead, it still look as how it looks earlier. It's just I could see my pimples are really peeking through. It doesn't have to do with the YSL foundation, because foundation would just smoothen out or make a plain canvas under the face. It's supposed to be, the concealing should be done by a concealer, and the concealer did not did its job properly. But it's a decent work. So I still recommend Too Faced. This one right here, it used to be, this one on this side is with primer and without primer. And I have noticed every time I do a foundation review, the prime part does have a lot of fine lines compared to without. So it got fine lines here. It still looks the same as earlier, but it has fine line, more fine line compared to this one right here. And I'm having a laugh line, which is rarely. This part right here without, but this one I could see a line, but it's so subtle. So overall, so far so good, and it still looks pretty. The foundation did not move. It's doing its job excellently. So that's my second update. Now I'm gonna try to wear it as long as I can, because the longer the better, right? To test its consistency and if it moves or its longevity. So if you're still interested, then just please keep on watching. Hey guys, so it's 9 p.m. and I'm ready to take off all of this makeup. So the previous update we've made, that was 6 p.m. and now it's 9 p.m. and do I still look pretty and fresh? Actually, I did not retouch. I did not powder my face, so what you're seeing right now is what you saw from the previous update. So let me zoom you in. So in the forehead, it doesn't look oily at all, so it's really matte. So FYI, this foundation is super matte. If you don't want matte foundation, then you could use a illuminator plus your foundation, so it has a little bit of sheen onto the skin. But this one is very matte, and around this one right here on the eye part, it did not crease, it did not move. There are still fine lines, but that's nothing. It's still there. The foundation didn't move, like I've said, and I am loving it. This part right here, when I use my drugstore shade, drugstore foundation brands, this one right here used to be very cakey, but not this foundation. So overall, I would say that it's a heavy duty kind of foundation, and regardless how many pumps, how many foundations you put onto your skin, still it would look very pretty, and it sink into the skin perfectly. Okay guys, so overall I would say the price of this one is $54. So is this worth my $54? I would say yes indeed. Like, I might repurchase a YSL foundation, and it is really pretty outside, indoor, and most especially outdoor. Some of the foundations indoor, they look pretty right in front of the camera, but when they go outside it looks so cakey and ugly, but not this one. So 54, and it's big. It's big. Let me show you my Milani once again. Pulling out my Milani. Look at that. Look at the difference. So 54 is just it's just right. And you're also paying for the name as well as the quality. And it has SPF 22, and I would say that I like the packaging. It's a pump. I think you've seen it, and it just looks so pretty, and overall it makes my skin so pretty. It covers the light blemishes. That's it. So yes guys, hope you find this video very helpful in your future purchases. If you're planning to buy this one, you could check my, don't skip, you will see my comparison between these two, the shades. So this is Milani Natural, and this is Amber. You would see their difference, the consistency, and so on and so forth. So yes guys, if you like this video, then please don't forget to click the like button, and if you're not subscribed, yes, please do subscribe. See you on my next post guys, and I love you. Bye.